It's Too Early, Season 3, Episode 5. It's Lonnie, and of course, you can tell that I'm here by myself. Unfortunately, Bria and Nelly could not make it to this recording, so I'm just going to hold it down for the fort today. So we have two special guests here with us today. My best friend Diamond and her fiance Bria.
Hello.
I'm going to just let them introduce themselves. I'm not going to do the introduction. Y'all can introduce yourselves.
Well, I'm Bria, Diamond's fiance.
And I am Diamond Bria's fiance. Say, hey, I'm Diamond, and I think that's all I have to say about myself.
Cool. So, as y'all know, episode 4 of season 3 for our Black Love series, we went into Black Men Don't Cheat. We had a male perspective on here, talking about relationships and how men think in relationships. So today we are here back with part 2. And we are talking all things women in relationships and a little bit of cheating, you know. We can get into that subject. So first I want to know, like, how did y'all meet? What did y'all relationship look like before, you know, y'all got engaged, all of that good stuff?
Okay.
Well, we met about 10 years ago, I'll say, in high school. She was actually my friend's girlfriend at the time.
Whoa.
That's true.
That's how we're doing this?
That's how we met.
That is how we met.
You was already in a relationship, and you said I was going to be your diary, quote unquote.
So, not diary.
Yeah, I was her
Listen.
diary. And so one day she said, we together.
That is truthfully.
So that's it. That's
how it happened.
That's the story.
Honestly, how it happened. It was like, one day you are my friend. I'm going to tell you everything. The next day, I don't care about nothing else that's going on. You mine. Period.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how long did that last? Because of course I know y'all personally,
Right.
so I know like y'all whole dynamic, but kind of explain that whole part of it.
That time, it lasted for like 6 months. 6 or so months. And then,
You had to move to North Carolina.
yeah. So things got a little
to Florida.
Things got a little odd, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's when a little bit of like cheating came into play.
Creeping.
Okay. So now since you mentioned cheating, we might as well get into the topic.
Yeah.
So have y'all cheated? Have y'all been cheated on? Who cheated?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What was that whole thing like?
Well, I cheated first, technically. Technically.
Thank
I had
heavens
like
for
a
that.
one night stand in Miami
Mm-hmm.
with some girl. And that was it. I didn't speak to her after. I didn't even know her. So.
Right. And then from then, I did a emotional cheat, I would
Which
say.
I think is worse. Way worse.
Okay. We're going to get into that later. Okay.
So then I did an emotional cheat, and then we broke up in the midst of that. But you know, like, when you're younger, you just say, like, it's over.
Yeah,
and it may
done.
it may really not be that. I took it upon myself to take those words, and I ran with it.
The very next day.
The very next day.
Exactly.
And then that was that. And then we kind of broke up and weren't together for...
Like 4 years?
I mean, we still was together. Oh,
I'm not bad.
But we weren't together for like a good 4 years after that.
I was in a whole nother relationship, and then I saw her on Benning Road one day.
Oh my God.
Not on Benning Road. On
Oh,
Benning
yes,
Road
you-
one day.
Then you was still a cheater.
How? Oh, yeah, because I was cheating on the girl I was with?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
Okay. So since we talked about, because Bria, you mentioned you feel like that emotional cheating is worse than physical cheating. So what do you guys think about that, like, in relationships? Do you think that emotional cheating is worse than physical? I don't know. I personally think both is worse.
Okay, see?
Both.
I believe that they... Because I believe that they run neck and neck when they're done to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like...
I'm the same way.
Going the other way, it's like... I think physical cheating is worse. If I was to do it, than the emotional cheating. But when it's done to me, I think they run neck and neck.
Well, for me, I can get over a physical cheat. I can get over like you slipped up one time.
How do you just slip up? What is
I don't get that ain't no slip up. You thought about that.
One
Exactly what she was
time
doing.
you was a little weak one time, and it just got away from you. But when you emotionally cheat, like you really like this person, like you want to be with this person, that hurts.
I understand that.
But I also feel like with emotional cheating, you're already checked out of your current relationship if you have to emotionally cheat. So to me, it's cheating, but it's technically not cheating because you already not even right. You already checked out. You're not even in that relationship.
I was about to say, but I feel like isn't that technically still cheating if you're the only person that has emotionally checked out? I mean, I get it though, because that's I feel that, but.
But do you think so? Last episode we were talking about like how men mentally check out, but they still stay in a relationship because you know the benefits are there, but they step out of the relationship to get like the benefits that they're not getting. So do you think it's different for women?
I think it's just different for mindsets. Like depending on your mindset, because my mindset was more so, I guess, would be in the category of like a man's mindset because physically, that really don't bother me too much. But emotionally, that hurt different. Like, that one time she emotionally cheated on me, still hurts to this day. Like, but I've cheated plenty of times in my life, and I think nothing of it. Like, nothing of it. Because I know I don't care about them. I know it's not a big thing to me. They have no significance in my life whatsoever. Right. But, like, you wanted this.
No, I mean, I understand.
What?
I understand that. So I don't
physically don't really mean much to me.
Okay, so in y'all relationship right now, if one of y'all, I'm not putting this out in the air, I'm not putting this on the table. If one of y'all were to cheat physically or emotionally, would y'all stay? And is there a difference between the two right now since y'all are engaged?
I would stay. Yes.
Okay.
I would stay physically. I would not stay emotionally. Yes. Like, if you cheating on me emotionally, no. Because you want to be with this other person, so I feel like I have to let you explore that. I cannot be with you while you feeling this way towards another person. Like, if you're even curious, because that's going to be your what if. It's going to be your new what if. And I'm not about to have you have a what if while you with me. So go ahead and explore that. And when you see that it wasn't me.
Said your answer, I want to roll with that because that makes sense.
So, say if you do decide to stay in a relationship, how do you get past that? Like, how do you work it out? Do you go to therapy? Like, does that issue still come up in your relationship? And how does that work?
Personally, I think I would have to take, like, a therapeutic step. Just because I think things would just linger in my brain far too long that I wouldn't really know how to truly figure it out. Like, I know I would want to figure it out. I would do all things to figure it out, but I think I would for sure have to have a third party in there to kind of help me situate my mental.
A different perspective.
Not for me. It's different for me. Because I think so highly of myself.
Oh, okay.
It's really like, if you wanted to do that, that was on you. And it's like, now you realize that I'm it. So that's comforting for me, honestly. And I could look past the cheating, like look past the one time you had poor judgment and understand that you're better now. If you ever want to have poor judgment again, I'm like, that's on you still. I don't feel like it affects me like it did when I was younger. Because, again, I think so highly of myself now that it's like, I'm kind of like part of the prize. So it doesn't... Moving on was really like a mental thing for me. So now I could like joke about it. Like I could joke about your emotional cheating. And it don't affect me as much because it's like funny to me because like that's what you cheated with. Like that's what you wanted. Okay.
So now that you mentioned,
it's even funny because all of us literally know what's happening right now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny.
So I like that you mentioned like there's a difference between being younger and being older. So do you think like what do you think cheating means to you right now, like as an adult versus being young? Because you know when you're young and you're in a relationship, you think you're in love, and then you meet somebody else and you're like, oh, I want to fool with them and see what that's about. So, like, what does that look like in our adulthood?
When I was younger, I thought it was the end of the world when you left me. Like, I thought, oh my God, I'm never going to find anybody else. Like, my life is over. That's it. Just give me the razor now. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's over.
Not, know what I'm saying?
It's no point even moving on to the next day. But it's when I got older and I started experiencing more things, like, outside of you. I started, like, coming into my own individual life and having things for myself and seeing, like, my value just for myself. I really could understand why that extra time is needed. Like, you need to explore other things before you can actually say, okay, this is what I want. And I really understand the importance of exploring. So it's like, if there's anything you want to do before we do this, let me know. I can give you that time. And I really think that's important to explore before you settle down.
I don't know if I agree or disagree.
Because I'm not an exploring.
Yes,
person.
I think it depends on the person. Because I'm not an exploring type of person either. Like, I may explore for like 2-3 months, and then I'm like, all right, I'm over this. Where's my man?
In that exploration.
Yeah,
period,
it's just like
I'm not really doing.
I'm not really exploring anything. I'm just, you know, doing me and doing what I want to do. And then, like, eventually I'm just like, all right, I'm tired of this. I need a man. Like, I need something, like, to settle down with. Like, come on now.
I definitely understand.
Because I just don't feel the need to explore. It's like, if I'm going to live my life, I'm going to live my life. But, like, I don't need to deal with 7 people in 1 month to feel like next month I know for sure I want to be where I want. Like, I don't need to do that.
So do you think it's like more of like a woman thing for you not to like explore? Because a lot of, like, you know, men would say like, oh, well, I need to, you know, have this many bodies or whatever. Like, I need to figure out
I don't know.
I just felt like, for me as a woman, I still felt like it was important for me to do whatever I wanted to do. Like, with no restrictions, with no judgments. I just wanted to live and just do it all. And then I done it all, and I'm like, okay. I don't ever want you, like, for instance, with you, I tell you, are you sure there's nothing else you want to do? Because I don't want you to look back and regret and be like, dang, I wish I would have had a wild night in Vegas one
But,
time.
like, that stuff don't excite me.
But
Like,
I guess, where is that stopping point of where you just like, oh, I don't want to explore no more?
Oh.
Like, where, like, how do you even come to that conclusion? Like, okay, I'm ready to settle down. Like, do you just wake up one morning and just be like, all right, now time to stop?
Like, that can only go to you.
I'm like, I'm tired of this. You know, I just felt like I was being used in so many different ways from so many different people. It's like I was ready for genuine. I was ready for genuine love. And there's nobody in my life that I could look back on that gave me, like, genuine love without wanting anything in return other than her. So it always reverted back to her. Anybody else wanted something from me, but not everything. Just one thing that they always wanted from me. And it was like this, a cycle that just wouldn't end. And it's like, okay, this ain't fun no more. Like, I'm not getting enough. So it's like, I'm over it now.
But see, I feel like I got that same lesson, right? But I didn't have to explore for that.
Okay, so what does that look like? Because I feel like,
I think I've been in relationships where I just knew that was not for me. Like what you said, you felt used in a sense. I think in all of those situations, I was used for whatever I could possibly give. And with me, I'm just a
giver.
I'm a giver. Right. Like, I want to ensure that you happy, I'm happy, everything's cool. So I am okay giving, but I did ultimately feel used and just worn out. And
I feel like I had a hero complex.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Yeah.
So, like, would you define that as exploration, though? Because now that I'm thinking about it, looking back at, like, my past relationships, I mean, I haven't really been in, like, too many relationships, but I consider that exploration.
No,
because
for sure. But what I'm saying is, I don't need to go have no threesome. I don't need to go jump from a roof with my titties. Like, I don't need to do wild things to feel like, yeah, right now I'm ready to set. I don't need to do that. Like, I've been in relationships enough to know what kind of relationship I want. I didn't need to go out and get hecka drunk and have a one night stand to know, you know, one night stands aren't for me. I just know I wouldn't enjoy a one night stand because of the person that I am, not because of anything I had to explore.
Even with you in those relationships, I feel like that counts as exploration.
No, yeah.
Because, like, in our off time, where you were still deciding if this is what you want to do, I'm like, please, go be with whoever. Just go so you can see that they don't love you as much as I do.
So that's
not physically possible for. If you can find somebody that loves you more than I do, go ahead and be with them. Go ahead. But I know it's not gonna happen. So I feel like that's still exploring. Like, and I wanted you to do that.
I consider it exploring, but I just wouldn't consider it like exploring,
exploring, like
exploring was a little wild.
Yeah.
I don't need to. I never felt the need to do that.
I don't know. It just happened for me. I ain't planning it, but stuff wild just happened. I don't know.
But I feel like everybody just say I didn't plan it.
Yeah,
I didn't plan to explore. I didn't plan to be wild. Like
people fall in your life. You didn't.
But you can say no.
But I just feel like after that one time, it's like if you continue to be wild, it's a choice.
Yeah.
But it's like wild, unexpected things. It's not the same kind of wild every time.
Nah.
What do you mean?
Nah. I mean, okay, think about when I was stuck in Mississippi. Like, the wild things that stem from that. Who knew I was going to be stuck in Mississippi? Like, with two women. Like, I didn't know that. Or before that, when I was living in Arizona and I was in a 4-way relationship. I didn't plan for that. It was just two more people came about. And it's
but
like,
you didn't say no.
But it's right. It's the choice.
It's like, why not? Like, might as well try. Like, why not?
But so that makes it a choice.
Oh, okay.
It's
every
I
time.
didn't ask, so I didn't look for it. I
No,
wasn't looking for any of
each
these
time
things
you
to
made the
happen.
choice.
Yeah, I made the
Okay.
choice after it randomly happened.
No.
And I feel like that's where the disconnect is, especially like in the black community when we're dealing with like black relationships, and then like you get into cheating or you get into like wild situations, like unexpectedly. It's like, oh well, I didn't expect to be in this situation. It was a choice. Like you made a choice to be in
even
the
if
act.
it's the smallest one, you still chose.
Yes, you made a
do
choice.
all of those things.
Just like you made a choice to hop in the car. You made a choice to wake up. You made
It's like I didn't know the car was going to be out front, but you
I
got in
wanted to
it.
see where the car was going to take me. I just was up for the ride. That's it. I didn't have no reason not to.
Okay.
Young and living life.
I mean, you know, everybody, you know, it's different strokes for different folk. But so getting into like the black community, since you know this is a Black Love series and we're talking about black love, how do you think like cheating is within the black community? Like, do you think it's praised? Do you think it's like
Yes, it's praised. You heard what Chris Brown just said on the Shade Room?
What?
He's single and he in a relationship.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
And everybody thought that was so cute.
But also,
That's
I
not
think
cute.
that's
Like,
gender.
but
I think it's gender too, because
I
if
think
a
it's
shawty's,
mindset.
I don't know, because I just feel like if a female was to say that, she
Well,
would have been.
I think it's gender and mindset. Like, I feel like women are just naturally nurturing, so it's not like in their nature to just go out there and just like be single but also be in a relationship and just be playing like multiple dudes at the same time. Versus like a man, like, because we were talking about this last episode, like, is it necessarily like their nature or is it something that they're taught?
I think it's something that they're taught. Because personally, in my family, even the women are like that. Well, I'm going to say on one side of my family, my father's side of the family. Everyone in my father's family is terrible. They cannot be in a monogamous relationship. And that's men and women. Both. They are all cheaters. Every single last one of them. And they have no regrets. They will always cheat no matter what. From my father to my aunt to my uncles to my cousins. All of them. They all gonna cheat. And with no, it's like, oh, well, it is what it is. And it's like, that's the norm for them. So I had to get out of that mindset and realize, because for them, their definition of love is how much a person could put up with you. Mm-hmm. Like, if they really gonna stay no matter what you do. Mm-hmm. And if they don't, they ain't really love you.
But that's not a real definition of love.
That's why I had to get out of that mindset. But that's what I grew up in.
Yeah, I don't don't believe that's true though.
Yeah, like he spoke to my father for the first time yesterday. What did he say?
He said
About
you sure you
about his marriage.
Oh, he asked if I was sure that this was the person I wanted to be with for the rest of my life, because he's been married for so long and he still doesn't believe that that's the person that he like is to be with for the rest of his life.
I don't understand that, especially like coming from an adult. And granted, we're in our early adulthood, so we haven't even experienced half of adulthood yet. But like once you get to a certain age, it's like, okay, when did the game stop? Because it's like
you're not tired,
right? It's exhausting and it's tiring to not like at least settle down with one person. Yeah, granted, like if you're with somebody for a long time, like a long period, it's gonna like be like certain phases in your relationship where y'all gonna hit bumps in the road. It's gonna get stagnant, this, that, and the third. But like, is it really worth it stepping outside of your relationship and going to seek somebody else or seek something else, and then you come back and then it's like you still got to do the work?
Yeah, you're still in that situation. You ain't changed nothing but your side.
Like, exactly.
I mean, people always tell me, I'm in a marriage, but I always got to keep a couple friends, And he was like, Tanya, that's his wife, she got to keep a couple friends too. Like, that's like a known thing, but they, for some reason, they're just going to stick together because he said he feels like he's obligated. He's been with her so long, he feels like he's obligated to stay. But I'm like, this is like torture for both of y'all. Like, how can you even afford all these women? Like,
that's toxic.
That's crazy. But that's the norm for him.
So since we're talking about like long-term relationships, like I said, there's certain periods in your relationship where it may get stagnant or y'all may get hit like different phases and different bumps. Like, how do you navigate that without like, stepping outside? Because some people, like, when they get in long-term relationships, they just like, I can't deal with this no more, and I'm going to just, either break up with you or I'm going to just go and have my little fun, and then I'm going to come back and figure out what I want to do. So, like, how do y'all navigate that in y'all relationship since y'all been together for so long or known each other for so long?
I talk to her about everything. That's how I do it. I say everything that's on my mind and on my heart at all times. So
at all times.
No misconceptions, no confusion. So you know exactly how I feel at all times. So you can either ignore how I feel or we can work on it. And it's usually we just work on it.
Yeah.
So it's never a problem that's, I feel like, big enough that we can't communicate about it and work through it together. Like, like I said, we was talking about this yesterday. It can go from you feel like my breath stink up into you feel like you want to cheat, and everything in between I feel like we could talk about. It's nothing I feel like we can't talk about. You want to cheat? Why? What am I not doing for you? Like, let me know and I can do it.
Yeah. Communication. I'm a little worse with communicating. It takes a long time for me to get things out, but I am trying. I'm actively working on that, so I believe our communication truly will like get us through all of that, because I don't think anything is bad enough to like not be able to talk through.
Yeah. And I don't have no urge, well now, and I don't foresee it happening in the future, because even in the past, I did when we was previously together. But it's like this time,
y'all, we've been together 37 times in these years,
and I wasn't ready. Any of the previous times, I can say honestly, because I still, when I had that inkling to go do something else, I would just do it. Like honestly, I would just do it because I know I could. Like, there's always somebody waiting. There's always somebody willing. Like, always. And it came to a point this time where I'm like, well, that's not what I want anymore. Like, genuinely. I only want to be with you. Like, I don't want to talk to nobody else. I don't want to, nobody else in my face. Like, I only want to deal with you. And that's wholeheartedly. That's with no question. I don't have any what ifs or regrets.
So what do y'all think are the most important like aspects of relationships, qualities? I know y'all said communication, but are there any like trust?
Respect, yeah.
So I feel like if there's really no respect, then there's really nothing else to go with it. There's no communication, there's no trust, there's no bond, there's no nothing if you don't have respect.
There's no love. Like, there's no true love if you don't respect that person. Yeah, I would say those are the top three.
Communication, trust, and respect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, communication is kind of harder for me because of the family I was raised in. It's like they say everything.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
Oh my God.
Say whatever's on their mind in whatever way they honestly feel. And I have
And
to
that's
work
both
on,
sides.
yeah, that's both sides. I have to work on like filtering how I say things.
Mm.
Because I'm like, I used to be like, well, I'm not disrespecting you. I'm not calling you out your name. Why can't you get my message? And she's like, tone. And I hate it when you would say tone. I'm like, because this is genuinely how I feel. Like, you want me to filter how I feel? I'm just giving you my raw, honest emotion. Like, and you can't take it? Like, listen to what I'm saying.
Like, you want me to dumb down the emotion to hear the words. Like,
I mean, yeah, but tone makes a huge difference. It's like the saying goes, it's not about what you say, but how you say it. Like, for people to receive it, and especially in relationships, like, everybody has a different love language. Mm-hmm. So you have to talk to that person and communicate with that person and just love on that person in their love language. Like, if they don't receive, like, if their love language isn't physical touch and it's more so like words of affirmation, you have to give those words of affirmation rather than giving them a hug and a kiss and cuddling and everything. Like, it's not gonna like, it's not gonna, like, you know, be received in that way. So I definitely think that tone especially is a big thing.
And that's hard for me because the way I speak to you, I want you to speak to me back. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me to filter, engage what I say and how I say it. That would be upsetting to you because it wouldn't be upsetting to me. Mm-hmm. So it's like I have to learn what will upset you because it's so out of the box for me. I'm like, I want you to talk to me like that. Just give me your raw feeling. I don't sugarcoat nothing for me. Just tell me exactly how you feel it, and I can take it.
Well, for me, it's like my parents aren't vocal people. Like, they will shut up and walk away, and when it blows over, it blows over. We'll talk about it when you're calmer and I'm calmer. But it's like, I'm learning in this relationship, like, don't hold that. Like, it's only going to hurt you holding that longer. Like, speak it when it's in the front of your brain, and we're going to work it out. Like, that's just what it is. But my parents aren't that. My family isn't that. But it's like, that is what her family is. So
like, I can't move on to the next thing if this is still lingering in my mind. Like, let's talk about it now because I don't want to come back to it later.
With me, it's like, we can move on, and when we're calm about that situation, we'll come back to it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I can see that. Because, I mean, I guess, like, for somebody who's so blunt and just wants to get it out right then and there, it's almost feeling like, well, I don't want to sweep it under the rug. Like, I want to get down to the nitty-gritty right then and there. Like,
and then we can move on.
Right, exactly.
I don't necessarily sweep it under the rug. I just
put it to the side for a second.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think right now with so much anger is the right time to talk about it. I just think, take a breath. I'm going to take a breath. Figure out what you really want to say, because I would hate for you to say something that's like out the water, and then we will talk about it. Like,
but we will
talk about it.
But I also feel like, I don't think it's necessarily a matter of like, you don't want your anger to get in the way, but it's also a matter of like making sure that you know how to control your anger in the moment. Yeah. Like, some people, like, you know, some people say hurtful things when they're angry, and then they turn around and they regret it, but it's all about how you control it in that moment. Like,
I always feel like I never say anything that I don't mean. If I'm mad, sad, no matter what, I don't never say anything that I don't mean. And I feel I can stick with that still.
I don't necessarily think I say things that I don't mean. I just, because of the way my communication works, I think I say things the wrong way. Not that I don't mean it. I just think the word choice is poor.
And the tone sometimes.
And that, that can be bad. So
I feel like our compromise on that is, well, if you don't want to talk right now, you have to tell me that you don't want to talk right now. You can't just not talk. Like, you can't just not respond. After I just went on this rant, and you just say nothing and walk away.
And I'm like,
like, just tell me, not right now. I don't want to talk about it right now. We can talk about it later. And I may be mad, but I gotta accept that.
Yeah. And it all goes back to communication. That's literally communication, and respect is like the bottom line, like the base of every single thing. In a relationship, friendship, familyship, cousinship, mothership, all of the ships.
Not mothership.
Everything.
So how is your relationship now? Like, what does that dynamic look like since y'all are engaged and getting ready to get married and like, you know, going through that whole process? What does that look like? Because I know it's probably stressful trying to plan like the wedding and all of that. So
it is.
It is stressful trying to plan a wedding, but the relationship dynamic is the same. I feel like whether we engaged, married, divorced, it don't matter unless we widowed. Like we always gonna be the same type of way together.
Yeah.
But the wedding is stressful.
It is very stressful. Okay, when you think you got it, it's more.
But it's like nowadays I'm trying to get her to open up to me more because I feel like she tends to cater to me more so than she would cater to herself.
Yeah.
But that's a me thing.
But if I want to just be with me,
unfortunately, I feel that.
Like,
but I mean, it is a you thing, but it gets to a point where like you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of somebody else. Like I'm literally the same way. Like
I'm learning because I feel like the last time you wanted me to do something, I said, spoke my mind, and we was done with it.
I don't remember the thing. The last time I remember is you putting that ice cream back because I said I didn't want no ice cream.
Okay, well I'm talking about when you went.
I'm like, if you want the ice cream, you could just eat the ice cream.
I'm talking about when you went and you wanted me to go somewhere, and I said I'm not going. And you was in your attitude, and I let you sit in your attitude.
But that was a fake attitude.
I don't care. It was real for me.
It was real for me. Last thing, would y'all like? What kind of advice would y'all give to any couple out there who's like in that stage where y'all are, or like in that stage where y'all used to be, or just like in a relationship in general?
We had this whole conversation yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
With my cousin because she was asking for relationship advice, and I just feel like it's kind of unfair for us to give it because she's been with this guy for like a year. And I've known her for like 10 years. So it's been a whole lot of up and downs and learning each other throughout this time where we finally get to the point where we are now. So it took a lot. So we're going to be like, what? Just break up and get back. If you need to. Like, I don't know.
Only thing that keep popping up in my head, and I don't even feel like this because of anything, but like, don't be afraid to try. Like, don't feel like, because I know for me, like the last time, although it was deep for me, I also felt like don't allow, I mean, depends on what that one thing is, but don't allow just one thing to be like extremely detrimental to like
but
all
at the same time, I needed that.
But
because it showed that you're not about to play. You're not about to play these games. And, like, I needed that, like, wake-up call to be like, okay, I am playing games. Like,
that's what I said. It depends.
Yeah. Right. It's like, at first, I'm like, man, she's so strict. Like, this is Judge Judy. This is ridiculous. Like,
Judge Judy.
I did one thing. She really gonna leave me? Like, you really gonna leave me? For real, be gone?
Yeah.
I told everybody I could. I'm at work, man. She ain't never gonna get back
And the crazy thing is, I was sitting there like, it's not forever. I just need you to see where I'm coming from. Like, it's certain stuff I'm not.
But it could feel forever though.
Yeah, like,
it
felt forever for me, and I was the one saying it wasn't going to be forever. But it still felt like a very, very, very long time. But I feel like some things, like you said, gotta happen.
Yeah, I feel like you set your boundary, and I feel like boundaries are very important. Like you said it. And
that is great advice. That is great advice. Set your boundaries.
Yeah. If somebody keeps overstepping your boundaries, you know that's not the person for you. I think that's it. It's respect. It goes back to respect.
Set boundaries.
But you gotta set your boundaries.
Set boundaries in yourself and set boundaries within your relationship.
Yeah,
that's very important.
You can't expect somebody to just know because everybody is different.
Everybody, you can't read people's minds. People can't read your minds. And on that note, season 3, episode 5, it's a wrap. See y'all next episode. Bye.
Bye.